Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Steel, fun papa fee.
Hello, welcome back. You're still watching Prime Morning, and Newsflash discussion segment is now what we're about to do. My name is Razak Musbao, and it's a pleasure to be doing this for all of you. And this morning, we do have a lot to talk about. And Akwatia by-election is now just under a week. September 2nd is when it's happening. And campaign has heated up in the constituency, with NDC stalwarts storming the constituency with the hope of snatching the seat from the MPP. Well, the MPP are not relenting also, as they are determined to retain the seat. We'll get into it. And while on the campaign grounds in that constituency, we've had the national organizer of the NDC, Joseph Yamin, making what many have described as controversial comments in relation to the Galamsey menace, where he's calling on President John Dramani Mahama to halt the police anti-Galamsey task force, because he believes they are not doing the party in the country any good. Well, that has raised questions, especially for a man who is currently under investigations for supposed involvement in Galamsey activities. So we will get into that. But also the MPP's flag bearer race has heated up, and now it's a controversy because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has slammed Dr. Brian Champon for comment he made, which Dr. Bawumia believes to be a tribal bigotry, a tribal politics, and that has brought stirred some controversy in the camp of MPP, with many raising questions about the party's ability to unify the various candidates after the January election. But even more significant is the directive by the Honorable Minister for Communications, Sam George, following the police recent operation to arrest these delivery guys, the courier services guys. Well, that has generated some debate, and we know that these delivery guys stormed the office of the Youth Employment Agency, Malik Basantali, calling on him to stop the police service. Well, the Honorable Minister acted, but his actions has raised further questions about whether the ministers should be allowed, as and when they please, suspend the law simply because some people who are being, who are supposedly victims of it, are calling on the government to do so. So we'll get into that. But let's start with what's been happening in the newspapers. So we're going to start with the Ghanaian Times now. And on the Ghanaian Times, you have the image of the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Asiedu Nketia. And the big question is NDC Tamale Central primaries, who succeeds late MP, as 14 hopefuls pick forms to contest. 14 of them have picked forms to contest. And at the top on page 12, you also have book research allowance will cost government 712 million Ghana cedis in 2025. 712 million Ghana cedis in 2025. We understand that this money is expected to be paid to all the teachers in the tertiary institutions in September. Then you also have President John Mahama image there with some Japanese investors, and it says President strikes $100 million agri deal, meets UN Secretary General at TICAD. So big moves by the president following his trip in Japan. Then you have Morgan Ayewini and 6 others re-elected to lead ICU Ghana. So that's the headlines on the Ghanaian Times. We also have the Chronicle newspaper here, and the big story here is Brian's alleged tribal comment rankles Bawumia. That's the Chronicle. And you have a picture of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia there. We will be bringing you that soundbite from Dr. Brian Champon, and also the response by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia very shortly. But also the Akwatia by-election is also on the front page of the Chronicle, and they say, please to deploy Black Maria in Akwatia by-election. The police have indicated that they will deploy some 5,000 personnel for that by-election. So it's expected to be heavy security in the constituency. We understand that 5 have been arrested for possession of weapons also. And at the bottom of the Chronicle newspaper, you have MPP lost 2024 largely due to bad economy, not because of Brian's attempt to partner Smith in its hotel's management. Interesting. So the Brian camp is also deflecting some concerns that they contributed to the party's loss. Then you also have the publisher, and it has Dr. Baumia's face here, and it says Baumia blasts Brian over reckless tribal comment. Baumia blasts Brian over reckless tribal comment. That's also there on page 3. And then you also have Sophia Akufu, Enin Yeboah, Doche, all to testify for Tokunu. Wow. And the story is on page 3, according to the publisher. And that is interesting that they have joined a host of respected jurists and legal luminaries to testify before the 5-member Article 147 committee set up by President Mahama to investigate the petition seeking the removal of the Chief Justice. So that will be interesting, and we'll see the outcome of that also. And on page 3 also, you see Yamin tells Mahama to stop anti-Galamsey tax force, accuses them of extortion. So that story is also there, and we'll get into that story also. Then Tampoli supports 238 students in his constituency, and Upon Nkrumah drives education in Ofuase, Ayurebi. That story is also featured on the publisher over there. Then when you go to the front page of the Ghanaian Times, of the Daily Graphic, it has police seize guns and ammunitions ahead of Akwatia by-election. The police seize guns and ammunition ahead of Akwatia by-elections. That's the big story on the front page of the Daily Graphic, and that is very concerning because it says a lot about interesting about security and safety in this by-election. Really interesting. And also 2025 Homo Garmancha visit ancestral burial grounds, intercede for protection and blessings. And 2025 BEC results out, 177 candidate results cancelled, and 93 of them withheld. And we understand all of that due to some examination malpractice. Then you also have the Inquisitor, which says, from God or not, prophet in Gaiman agenda. Well, that's also a story on the Inquisitor. So, but on the front page of the Daily Guide, it says, Baumia slams tribal religious propaganda. And Brian also fires, saying, stop twisting my words. And you have illegal miners destroy 2,000 rubber trees. And on the side of the Daily Guide, you see Shatawale there because he undertook a spiritual cleansing after Yoko release. And that video surfaced. He went to the sea to wash himself after the release from Yoko. So those are largely the stories on the various newspapers. And we'll see what has been unfolding in that regard. But as we mentioned, you also got the Economy Times, where it talks about the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, leading efforts to recapitalize bank with insufficient capital, and so much more. So these are the major stories: Akwatia by-elections, security, with the police seizing some weapons, and the MPP also flag bearer race heating up as both aspirants keep, what do you call it, making comments, controversial comments, and lots of fires here and there. We'll get into that. But we will start with the development that unfolded on Friday in relation to the delivery guys who were being arrested by the police, apparently for not possessing license. And following that, they, what do you call it, the Honorable Minister for Communication did raise some concerns. Now, we'll get into that. We've got the statement of the Honorable Minister. We'll get into that. But we're going to start from Akwatia very shortly, where the police have seized some weapons, and also the various candidates have intensified their campaign. The Chief of Staff was in the constituency yesterday with some NDC stalwarts, and NDC are clearly determined to win it. In studio with me is a member of the NPP communication team, Amstrong. Richard is there. Amstrong, good to have you. Good morning. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I've also got the member of the NDC, what do you call it, communication team member, Emmanuel Metal Nunu, here. Iman, good to have you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, good. I hope you're well too.
I'm doing well.
Wonderful. Good to have all of you. Good to have all of you.
Yeah, good to have you.
Great weekend, was it?
Great.
Oh yeah, it was a very great weekend. Nothing extraordinary happened this weekend. And everything went well. We still focused on executing the mandates that the people of Ghana gave to us. You know, over the week, His Excellency was in Japan, trying to get good things and investments to come to Ghana. And there's been several things also happening on the local scene, the National Apprenticeship Program and all that. So we are focused on the job. Pokwaso of Anchor Road is also...
Yeah, the contractors.
Yes.
So you're working?
So we are working. We are focused on delivering on the mandates that the people of Ghana give to us.
Wonderful. Is all well with the MPP so far, Richard?
Yes, I would say all is well. Let me use this opportunity to extend sincere greetings to the people of the NPP, from the national and then the presidential aspirants. We are united as it is, but maybe sometimes the followers out there let it look as if there is division. That kind of division, tension, whatever. It's easy within the NPP, because we are extremely happy that with regards to how the NDC are managing the economy, all the signs are clear that NPP is bouncing back to power in 2028.
You're not happy with how the NDC is managing
the economy? Exactly. The media, you bear witness to how the NDC campaigned prior to the elections, all the key promises that they made. The cocoa farmer in the Western North region is just accusing the government, threatening demonstrations. And they even want to, smuggle the cocoa to Cote d'Ivoire to sell for higher prices. So looking at all these things, the dollar, we are jubilating online, but you get down, the reality is a different thing. They are not even getting the dollars. And a whole lot. Look at prices of transportation and all those things, but we are jubilating. That's so. We've been in government before, just the past 8 years.
You're not happy with their 8-month work so far?
Oh,
wonderful. Well, let's narrow it down to Akwatia by-election now, because one of the stories that has featured this morning is the police arresting of some people in possession of weapons, and it has raised genuine concern about the security ahead of the by-election. And he said a contingent of 5,000 strong police backed by Black Maria are ready for deployment to Akwatia and the eastern region to ensure the safe conduct of impending by-election. And we understand that according to the IGP, also 600 out of the 5,000 strong force benefited from pre-deployment training. And even as part of efforts to try and ensure safety in that election, they've also gone on to make some arrests. We understand the Eastern South Regional Police Command had arrested 5 suspects in separate operations at Akwatia in the eastern region for unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition. They say these operations conducted between 22nd and 23rd of August, this weekend, form part of intensified security measures ahead of the Akwatia by-election. So that's really interesting, and we understand that a number of rifles were retrieved from these individuals, and the police is clearly doing this as part of effort to ensure there is safe by-election. But let me start with you, Emmanuel, though. The Chief of Staff went there. The national organizer of the NDC has been there for a while now. He's been campaigning on the grounds. And it does seem to suggest that NDC desperately want to recapture this seat. But then people are asking, why do you want this seat at all?
Okay, thank you very much. And before I start, let me say a very good morning to the good people of Ghana and a good morning to the viewers of Joy Prime. NDC does not desperately want the Akwatia seat. We are just abiding by the tenets of the 1992 Constitution. What happens when a certain member of parliament vacates a seat or maybe loses his life or her life? So the Constitution says that within some number of days, there should be a by-election. That has brought lots of arguments into the media space over the period about whether there's a need for us to still go into a by-election if this happens, because it looks like we channel lots of resources, all political parties who want to contest into going into the by-election. Can't we just allow the political parties who had their representative to just nominate somebody and replace the person than all of us going? Because if you look at the history of by-elections in Ghana, both the NDC and the MPP have some history of violence and attacks on people. And sometimes the members of the fourth estate of the realm, the journalists, get caught in some of these things. So that argument is there. And I think that we should move there. And I'm glad the Constitutional Review Committee is doing their work as of now, and then they're also taking note of...
It's something you support, that we should not
do an election, the
party should just find a replacement for.
Yeah, it's something I support.
Doesn't defeat the essence of democracy? Because if you do that, then you're denying the people in the constituency.
The essence of democracy now, because it's captured in our constitution. That's how we should go about it.
Yeah.
But if the same constitution, the people of Ghana accept that is the way they want us to go, it's still democracy, because democracy is for the people, by the people. Do you understand? So if the people say that, you see, based on our history, and most of the things captured in the 1992 Constitution is because of the historical background, political background that Ghana came from. One of the reasons why we had to choose members of parliament, 2/3 members of parliament from 2/3 ministers from the members of parliament, was because of our history. You remember the Liman's government and the PNC. Okay, and then they couldn't even elect, pass a budget, the same government, and they have majority, they couldn't even pass a budget. So it got to a point in time, in drafting the 1992 Constitution, the framers at the time thought that, okay, we need to get the members of parliament as part of the executives, so that they'll be in sync, and then they'll be able to execute government's agenda. So most of the things in the 1992 Constitution, but then the Constitution is a living organism. The people of Ghana, over a period, have evolved. The way we used to do things before is not the same as now. The number of literates we have today is not the same as now. So there's a need for us to review the Constitution.
But interestingly, though, the NDC, one of the things that, argument that has been raised also is that the NDC believes they won the seat in the 2024 elections, and they were still in court fighting for that seat until the untimely demise of the Member of Parliament. They believe that the seat they wanted, you believe that you won the seat. But then, interestingly, the interesting twist here is that the very person you believe won the seat, you changed him at the primaries. So now the question is, are you sure the people will vote for you, especially after you've gone ahead to change it?
No, NDC is a Democratic Party, and when this issue came up, there were lots of arguments whether we should just allow the person, the candidates in the 2024 elections contest, or whether we should open nominations. But as a Democratic Party, as the foundation of democracy in the Fourth Republic, we believe that let's go the democratic way. Let's open nominations, let people pick nominations, let them go into the contest. Whoever wins, the party backs the person. The same is happening in Honorable Mutale's constituency with open nomination. And as of day one, we all seen the number of people that accept to pick nominations. We don't know, after vetting and everything, that we'll get a real number that are going to contest.
There's a candidate who spent a lot in the 2024 elections. He spent a lot in his legal fees trying to reclaim the seat for the party.
But if we try to
then an opportunity comes for a by-election and you decide that, well, let's open it up.
If you try to make this argument, okay, there's a difference between law and there's a difference between morality and what is fair. Not everything that is fair is law, or not everything that is law is fair. But now you and I are advocating that we protect the laws of the land. We protect the Constitution. NDC is guided by a Constitution. NDC is the foundation of democracy in this country. So if you are abiding by that Constitution, it does not mean that we are defeating the issues or the arguments of being fair or anything.
But we've seen instances where the NDC has protected some candidates. We've seen candidates who have gone unopposed and they've been allowed to continue to stay in Parliament without any contest whatsoever. Why couldn't you apply that in the case of this?
In democracy, okay, in the democratic dispensation, you learn. One of the reasons, if you look at Professor Michael Kwe's report to the MPP, there were certain seats the MPP lost, they shouldn't have lost. They lost them because the establishment at the time, the MPP, okay, tried to protect certain people Do you understand? And when you do that, you rather infuriate the people at the grassroots. You rather infuriate the people at the concert because it looks like you're at the top and you're trying to impose decisions on them against what is the laid down rules and regulations. If you believe that the candidate is good enough, if you believe that the candidate is that popular, even within the political party and out of the political party, let them go. Honestly, I can tell you, some seats the MPP lost was because they tried to protect, and then the grassroots were complaining.
All right.
But they did not listen. So they're just going by the
we'll come back to it. We're not done with it. But Richard, let me come to you. What's your response? What confidence do you have? Because you didn't do a primary. So you just went to select your treasurer to become your candidate. And some say that that might cost you in this election. And if you see the inroads NDC is currently making in the constituency, Chief of Staff is in the constituency, National Organizer of the NDC is there, the National Youth Organizer, who's now the Minister for Youth, is there. Are you not worried that you might lose this seat?
Interesting. This Akwatia by-election is something that it goes beyond probably what we are discussing here. The dynamics in Akwatia is and has been entirely different from probably other by-elections. And considering this particular one, we are going to have 2 new faces on the ballot on September 2nd.
Yeah.
What I think is that the NDC are actually afraid and they feel more like, let's get down there, go with a message, probably a message of deceit or something like that.
What have they done that shows that they're afraid?
The point I'm making is this. Now we are monitoring everything that is going on. The kind of campaign message that you are carrying, that the NDC are now in power. So what good will it do, the people of Akwatia, when they choose to go for a candidate whose government is not in power?
Yeah.
Probably that has been the only thing. Meanwhile, the people of Akwatia really are expecting good governance, infrastructure development, job opportunities for the youth, and all those things.
But that's something that an MP who is with the government can offer. We know how the MPs in opposition struggle to meet some of these needs.
They do struggle, but I also know most of the MPs who really did better whilst they were even in opposition.
So what's your message to the people of Akwatia?
So our message is that the NPP won the seat. That is clear. And number 2, the person that we have in the person of Solomon has been a grassroots person with the people. Do you know something? You asked an interesting question. Why are you changing the candidates you presented a few months ago? The reason is that they do not find that person as a grassroots person in the constituency. So they thought that they have to make amends if only they want to win. They also had issues surrounding whoever should lead then. So probably they have to do that cover-up and then get things sorted out so that they will not be exposed. My brother just said that the NDC do not desperately need the seat. That's probably looking at what is going on. You mentioned some of the big wigs there campaigning on a line that probably you just want to deceive the people. People are saying that we want to see actions. Do you know something? Looking at the history of the Akwatia elections.
The swing seats. It has
the swing seat. Yeah. But the NDC know that almost every time that they win the seat, they win with virtually the slightest margin. Baba Jamal won 2012 with virtually 600 votes difference. Some 20,000, 19,000. Coming down, the NPP with a lady won with over 5,500 vote difference.
But she couldn't retain the seats.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, that it's a very dicey, the place is so, the dynamics, as I said earlier, they are something that you can't just, but one thing is that Amstrong has really studied the Ghanaian voter, and they are predetermined. Probably we are going for elections 2nd September, but they are already decided. You come, you do whatever, you come round, you give money and all those things.
Yeah, but you look at the NDC, it looks like their message is strong. They are in government. They are in position to offer the people roles. Which
that's why I said that
they are in position to offer them jobs. They're in position to give them all the goodies they want. In fact, I've heard the National Youth Authority CEO say that they will construct an astroturf.
Should we wait until...
So what message do you have to counter such a powerful message from government?
Should we wait until we are going for a by-election that you need the people's vote?
No, but it's 8 months, and they say we will do it.
No, what I'm saying is that, should we wait? Right, should we wait until we are going for a by-election that we should be out there right after the election? When was the last time that these key people visited the place to assure them?
You mean if they ever wanted to do anything good for them, they should have started?
They should have started by now, like seriously. Regarding the Galamsey fight.
But even you were in power for 8 years. If these needs still exist in the community, why didn't you fix it for them?
What I'm saying is that the NPP had done its part. Do you get it right? We did our part for the people of Akwatia. That's why at the end of the elections, Honorable Ernest won the elections with around 2,000 vote difference. Looking at the last time the NDC won, virtually 1,000 vote difference. So considering how the NPP treated the people of Akwatia, the kind of infrastructure development and all those things that
they are still complaining of roads.
Human wants are unlimited, and governance is a continuous thing. You can't just say
8 years.
You can't within 8 years say you are solving almost every problem within every constituency. That is something that honestly politicians we must admit, and the people must also admit that the government will come. You have all the proposed plans for the people. You try, you do your best, especially when you have a member of parliament who is so active. That is what I will use, and then is able to lobby for the area.
But what do you think winning this Akwatia seat will mean for the MPP? You know, because we know, of course, the MPP officially did not take part in that by-election at Blakemore North, but unofficially we know, because we saw party officials there, you lost that seat. You were quite confident we were going to win it, but you didn't win it. Akwatia is another opportunity for you to win something, especially after 2024 elections. NPP haven't tasted victory much since the Akwatia by-election. Since the 2024 general elections. What will this win mean for the MPP if you're able to clinch the seat? Actually,
let's get something right. Considering the last by-election, you all bear witness to all that happened. That is why, as I sit here, I do not believe the police. That's why the NPP is saying that we are going to provide our own security. On a more serious note, you believe, you really monitored, you were down there. Even journalists were beaten, even by police, in the watch of the police.
They said they are going to do better. They're going to deploy 5,000 personnel.
How many police personnel were deployed to the place last time?
But they were not up to 5,000.
There were many. But what I'm saying is that the willingness of the police to defend was absent. That was missing.
They have committed to do that.
Please, you saw it yourself. Why do we always want to
be? But they've said they will do better this time around.
Action must always speak louder than words. You get me right. We have been beaten, and you watch how a lady was beaten in the sight of the in the presence of.
So when you say you provide your own security, what exactly are you?
So what security people did the NDC bring to the place?
So what security are you providing?
I am also asking you. So we have an NDC person here. The NDC, they are in power.
You're going to bring macho men there?
No, what I'm saying is that you witness what the NDC did at the place.
So you bring macho men?
No, you witness what the NDC did at the place. The police presence there were many police personnel around. The NDC is in power. But even still, they brought those people that we don't know them. Armed. They came straight, fought people, and then a whole lot of abuse.
So what kind of security are you providing?
No, that one, we need not to tell you that this is the security that we are going to provide. You remember that this kind of vigilantism, we tried commissions here and there, we tried to ban it. And then, of course, the NPP were in a rush to ban ours. At the end of the day, our colleagues have taught us that no, you shouldn't have done that. We didn't disband ours.
So you bring vigilantes back?
Listen, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that our national leaders are saying, and you heard our national youth national organizer, Nana B said that we are going to. And as I sit, I'm telling you, I'll be in Akwatia and I will make sure that at least I am protected.
What do you mean by you will be protected?
Sometimes
what does that mean?
we are politicians and we understand ourselves.
What does it mean? You have a gun?
We understand each other. What? No. It's not about gun.
How will you protect yourself?
Do you know something? Do you know something? When Hawa Kumsin was heading towards the place, if she had known, or if she had known probably that this is what she was going to actually meet, it wouldn't have been like it happened.
You mean she would have armed herself?
So not actually arming. She's a strong woman. I admire her confidence, boldness, and everything. But what we are saying is that we do not believe in what the police is saying because we have witnessed it in reality.
All right, great.
So do we have to sit there and wait? What we are saying is that with the Akwatia, and I'm speaking to the people, that you can choose. There is someone whose father has passed on, but the one who inherited is probably taking very good care of the kids or of the child, even better than when the parent or the father was alive. Forget about the NDC being in power. The NDC has been in power before under His Excellency John Mahama 2012, 2016. What better things, what proper development did the people of Akwatia see during that time? So what I'm saying is that the people should be mindful. You see, sorry to use the word cunning, when someone is trying to deceive you with words, try to know the difference between lies and probably saying true assurance.
Let me come to Yuma now. And Yuma, just on the subject of message, because beyond the fact that you are in government and you have the resources to develop the constituency, beyond that message which you are carrying across the people, there's been concern about some messaging also, and it has to do with your national organizer, Joseph Yamin, who on the campaign trail has equally been making some very controversial comment and appears to be defeating government's fight against illegal mining. There is a national consensus on that. And if that file is real, we'll hear from him very shortly. And I'll get your response to that because people are struggling to understand why this is the message for the people of Akwatia. Because what Akwatia is a mining community. Is this an intentional attempt to win the votes of the people, telling them that we'll be soft on illegal mining? Listen to Honorable Joseph Yami. All right, great. So we'll bring you that soundbite very shortly. But I don't know if you've heard it. This is worrying. And people are saying that this was similar to what you preached in 2024 and won the seat. And you are literally fighting against yourself.
What exactly did he say?
Well, that's what I wanted to play for you. All right?
So when it comes
okay, great. We are ready now. Let's listen to Honorable Joseph Yami.
Telling the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, sir, as a matter of urgency, immediately he should order the stop of any mining operations being carried out. Near tax forces for no nama or more yano can never be said as fighting illegal mining, but rather extorting monies and creating problems. Until Omanpenyi order the IGP, the Interior Minister, whichever tax force will be said, they should immediately halt all the operations. Ni obia oya legal miner ewa mamuha na task forces na namono himfa no omo checking the documents of people who are mining and where they are mining and whether they have permit to mine or they don't have permit to mine. Lots of questions to be answered. There are a lot of education to be given. And until America Salman halt to all operations and let us sit down and find a very lasting solution to this problem. Then we ne binum botoma yama and sone and solve a problem. The problem by solving a problem. They mind the president of the Republic.
So that's the comment by the national organizer of the NDC, Joseph Yamin, and he, in fact, has been in the thick of these. It's not the first time he's made comment like that. In fact, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources did refer him to Yoko, and we know that last month, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayini, instructed Yoko to launch a full-scale probe into two-party executives, of which he is a part. And in fact, they said that the activities that, in fact, the point was made that they are involved in some illegal mining activities. Him, Joseph Yamin, and the third vice chairman of the NDC, Mr. Abanga. And now he's come up to make this comment, indicting the police, anti-Galamsey police task force, which has the full backing of the president, the interior minister, the lands minister, who every now and then are hailing the efforts of this anti-Galamsey, task force by the police. Here is your national organizer in Akwatia constituency indicting the police as far as that task force against the mining is concerned.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, and from the video I watched, I don't think that my national organizer was indicting the police.
He said they are
extorting. Yeah, so I'm explaining why. Money. So I'm explaining why I'm saying that. I don't think it was indicting the police or anything. I listened to his statement carefully as he played it, and all of us in Ghana who we are interested in the fight against Galamsey and illegal mining, who we are interested to safeguard our environment, should be very concerned about his statement. There were certain key important points that he made in the statement. Now, one, we know they are legal miners. We know they are illegal miners. We are trying to bring down or reduce the number of illegal miners there because they are not mining responsibly, they don't reclaim the land, they destroy the forest, and then they don't even replant the trees in the forest. Those are the people that do legal mining. Illegal miners also do not go for prospecting licenses. They just assume that there's gold here. They bring the excavators. They dig around. They don't find any gold. They don't even reclaim the land, and they are gone. But when you go for license, okay, they are taught all these things. There will be prospecting. That you know that where you are going, there's gold over there. When you move away from the Minerals Commission and the people, they reclaim the land and then all that. What he's saying is that the task force that has been set out there, because they know once they see anybody with excavator, they just go and move in and tell you that you should move away from there, they are seizing, all that stuff. He asked the question that, are there no legal miners in Ghana? Are there no legal miners within that community? What training have the task force? What do they have? That when they go there, they're able to check your documentations. And then
all the people whose excavators have been seized, every individual who has been arrested, not a single one of them have suggested that they were wrongly arrested. Every single arrest that the police have made in this operation have been emphatically against illegal mining.
That is not entirely true. There are some people who have been arrested that claim that they've got license to mine where they are, but then they have been arrested. Okay, and the issue is dicey in a way that even some people who have licenses, a miner has license to mine at Joy Prime, and before you realize he's mining around Malata Market. Do you understand? But he's got the license. So you get to Malata Market, he shows you license that he's got the license. He's got the license. That is what we captured in our manifesto in the run-up to the 2024 election. We are going to decentralize the issuance of the licensing, so that the person that issues the license is in the district where you are going to mine. So they understand, because you said the Lands Commission in Accra, you issue license to Metal Nunu to go and mine at Joy Prime. I get to the grounds there within the district. I've got my license all right, but my license is for me to mine around Joy Prime. Before you realize, and then I'm mining around Malata Market. I'm mining around Circle. Even if I've got license, what I'm engaging around Circle, what I'm engaging around Malata Market is illegal mining.
Are there any specific miners that you can point to who have confirmed to you that have been arrested?
Akwatia Mining was arrested sometime. His name was mentioned. Akwatia Mining said he's got license.
He's still in court.
Yes, he said he has a license. But also the court is not. You said are there ones I can mention, and I'm mentioning some. And Akwatia Mining has told us here. He has told the media. He has said it in public.
Mining was not even arrested by the anti-Galamsey task force, by the police.
He said in public.
Not this anti-Galamsey.
There was one mining mining company. I've also forgotten their name. That was also arrested even under the MPB's regime. That came in that in the Fimpo Manson's report. That said Gabi had to make a call.
But he's referring to this anti-Galamsey tax force.
I'm just telling you that
this NDC anti-Galamsey
most of the people arrested and this anti-Galamsey tax force have not come to public. Most of their informations are with the Minerals Commission, the tax force people that are handing out. I'm commenting on the ones that have come out in public.
But is it not worrying?
There are situations where people who have licensing, who claim they have licensing, have been arrested.
But it's not worrying, because the concern is that you're not making this anywhere. You're making this at the campaign grounds ahead of the by-elections in Akwatia. Akwatia is a mining community, and there's been suspicions that there are a number of illegal miners in Akwatia. And this is the message you're
directing. And there are a number of legal miners also in Akwatia.
Yes, appreciated.
Who are also being,
very well appreciated.
Who are also being stopped by the tax force.
You are making a direct call to the president on a campaign, or your president, that he should ban the anti-Galamsey tax force because you have concerns, he said it, and I quote, that some of the police personnel are extorting people.
But that's not only concerned.
No, he mentioned, but that was captured, wasn't it?
But also that's how are they able to check the documentation?
But he made a very strong allegation that they're extorting people.
And he also added, as part of the concerns, that how are they able to check documentation?
Yes.
Are there illegal miners
fair
within
enough.
the
So he also made a concern that how are they checking? But he also made an allegation that they're extorting money from people. These are police personnel who have been instructed by the Interior Minister, Honorable Mutaka, to go and do a job. And you are literally indicting them that they are taking money from people, yet they didn't provide an evidence.
But let's talk about the concerns holistically.
But you could see the reaction by the people that, yes, this is the kind of message you want to hear.
Let's talk about the concerns holistically. If we really want to stop illegal mining, even though I'm a member of the National Democratic Congress and I don't support public venting of such issues.
This is the concept.
I don't expect support and expect that as a national organizer who has access to the president, has access to national executive committees meetings, will come out in public.
Has access to the Interior Minister.
Yes, Interior Minister will come out in public and then make some of these concerns. But we are a democratic party, and I understand it's his right to do whatever he did. But then, okay, today we are discussing the issues that he mentioned. One of the issues he mentioned, or the concerns he mentioned, was the extortion of the officers from the miners. Yeah. Another one he mentioned is that are there not legal miners over there? Why are you chasing everybody out? Another one is that how are they trained to be able to check the documentation? Even if indeed they have documentation, the documentation they have, are they supposed to mine where they are? And all that. So he says that, and then he ends by saying that let's come to the drawing board, the drawing table. He calls on the president to call all these people in charge and let's sit to see how we address some of these issues.
But don't you think comment like this, I mean, steal away from government the confidence that people are beginning to have in them to fight against Galamsey? Because the point is that, like you mentioned, this is a party official, a senior party official.
Yes.
A party official who is already under investigation, doubling himself in these Galamsey comments. And like you mentioned, he has access to the Interior Minister, all right? He's based in the Ashanti region. The Interior Minister is a member of parliament for Asawase. Honorable Mutaka, clearly he's got his contact. He's got the contact of, what do you call it, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Bois. He's got his contact. He has access to the president. And he comes out on a campaign ground in Akwatia, ahead of Akwatia by-elections. And you can see the reaction of the people.
How will his comments and concerns that he has raised derail the confidence that the people of Ghana have in the government? The government
that alleging that the police are taking money.
The government that it wouldn't aim and see among the media space, okay? You're a very good journalist. Multimedia has got one of the finest journalists. There are journalists who come to the grounds and take money from politicians, take money from people who have engaged in wrong practices. But then it does not derail the confidence I have in good journalism. So even among the task force, even in our government, John Mahama II's administration, there are certain task forces in certain areas who have gone there, not taking money, and arrested the people.
But do you know,
it's for no reason that we've been able to reclaim about 9 forest reserves that miners were in there. It's for no reason that the water bodies that were being polluted and the Galamsey people mining the water bodies are being cleared up now. It's because of honest, it's because of objective, it's because of task force members who have integrity that are going on the ground. So
do you know something?
In every situation, you have some bad nuts in there.
All right, just listen to this. Do you know that the comment by Honorable Yamin, alleging that these police personnel are taking bribes, are extorting from
Some of them.
Yes. Do you know that this comment does not only indict the police personnel, it indicts the IGP, it indicts the Interior Minister, it indicts the Vice President, who is the head of the police service, it indicts the President, who is the custodian of this country. Do you know that this comment does not just indict the police personnel, it goes that far. That far, because all these personnel. Let me just make the point. All these personnel, the police personnel who are in the bushes doing all their work, they are not there because they decided to go there. They are there on the instructions of the President, the Vice President, Interior Minister, IGP, and all other stakeholders. And if you make this comment against them, you are indicting all these people.
If Yamin,
and that is the gravity of the issue.
If Yamin had said that the President, I want you to call the IGP to order, I want you to call the Interior Minister to order, and that, but Yamin, in his statement, was saying that the Interior Minister, the IGP, and the people must call the boys to order, which means that he's not indicting them. He's saying that there are certain elements among the task force that are engaged in certain practices that is against our government. So he's calling them to come to the table, so we address it. So he's not indicting them.
All right.
He's telling you that they have integrity. That's why he trusts that when we come to the table, the IGP, the Interior Minister, the President himself, because he believes in them, because he believes they have credibility and they have integrity, they'll be able to flash out some of the
Let me bring Richard in.
There.
Richard, you'll be following this comment.
Before I land, when you're talking about the concerns you raise, let's talk about it holistically, not only the extortion part. Let's talk about the fact that how do they check the documentation? Let's talk about the fact that aren't there legal miners over there, how are they able to check it and all that stuff? And it's about education. And he ended that we need education. We need to come to the drawing board. So
he had an opportunity to educate the people. He didn't even talk about how they should mine legally.
One day, education
he had an opportunity to do that. He didn't even do that. All right, Richard, let me bring you. Let me bring you in, Richard. Yeah. I mean, what's your reaction to this?
You say something. When God is exposing you, sometimes you go explain tire. Communicators. We've been in government before. Sometimes I remember when MPP were the only option was to go for the IMF. Communicators, we had a lot to do then, and you bear witness to that, like you, the media. Like seriously, God is really exposing some people in government.
Why do you say so?
No, I'm coming. What has really happened is the official admission from the NDC that they've lost the Galamsey fight. The official, that is the official statement that they have really conceded that they've actually lost it.
But this is the
you know something,
not the entire
yes, seriously.
So why would you say that?
Please. What I'm saying is that when someone doesn't have the political will to fight Galamsey, you see, you, the media, you are not paying attention to something critical that even the president himself has been saying. He has raised two serious issues. One, those who are engaged in Galamsey activities, that is their source of income. They are breadwinners and they have to take care of their lives and their families. So you can't just rush all of a sudden that they should just leave their places or they should leave their work. It's a very serious thing. Secondly, the kind of gold process that we are having. The gold board is announcing that they are chalking success here and there. Relating that to proceeds from the small-scale mine, the Galamsey too.
But you cannot prove that.
No, what I'm saying is
but you cannot prove that what gold board, the gold that the gold board is accrued is from Galamsey. There's no proof to that.
As we speak right now, you can't sell gold to anyone apart from you even issue the official receipt from the gold board.
But you're saying that the gold is from Galamsey,
but the gold, please, what I'm saying is that the gold that we are getting from those Galamsey sites, all of them, they are now in the coffers of the gold board. So now, every gold that you have will find its way to be part of the national reserve. So what I am saying is that when you are having a president who believes that we can't just cram on the work of the Galamseyers and then probably considering these two things is their source of income and then probably is contributing to the gold board reserve here and there, then that one is enough. Now, secondly, look at what he said that I paid critical attention to. That he said the NDC must now get back to the drawing board to find how they can fight the Galamsey.
Because he says
so this tells
he raised concerns about the tax force.
This tells that the NDC were not even prepared when they were in opposition.
No, but he's talking about specific
when
issues.
They were championing, doing all those demonstrations and all those
he's talking about
insulting people in this country.
He's talking about specific
They were
issues
not even having a laid down plan to fight Galamsey.
He's talking about specific issues. Richard, just hold on. He's talking about specific issues. He's talking about the anti-Galamsey task force, whom he believes are engaged in some unprofessional conduct.
Sure.
And that is affecting people who might be legitimately engaged in mining. And he's saying that as far as the anti-Galamsey task force is concerned, let's review their work. Let's sit down and probe.
I may want to ask
and ensure that they don't go beyond, what do you call it, the limits which they have been given.
I understand you, but I may want to ask a question. So today, the NDC believes that there are legal miners in Ghana. Do they believe that today? The media will bear witness to all these, the allegations that the NDC were making then. The NDC never even believed that they were legal miners in Ghana. Everything that they see is Galamsey, Galamsey, Galamsey. And you know how the NDC treated the NPP government. It's like the media, you are being soft on the NDC. This one I will just say straightforward.
I mean, how will you say we have...
Yes, the media were so hard on the NPP. Look at how even organized labor threatened the nationwide strike. The government, it wasn't easy for the government. And what were the NDC saying then? What they were actually saying was that the president should declare a state of emergency on this Galamsey thing. But the question I'm asking is that for 8 months in government, has the NDC been able, when His Excellency the President was asked about declaring a state of emergency on that, he said, no, I can't do that now. We should allow them to, but we should find a way of managing or mitigating probably what they are doing.
Well, they say as far as the state of emergency is concerned, they say at the time that it was called for...
So looking at that time and today, it is more deteriorating now.
Let me just make the point that at the time the state of emergency, the call for the state of emergency was made, they say that at that time, a number of our forest reserves were under siege by Galamseyers. And today, they make reference to the fact that they've been able to reclaim at least 6 to 7 forest reserves.
And you believe it's not true.
And that does not warrant a state of emergency. That's why they've gone ahead with their task force, the Blue Water Guards, and the Responsible Mining Initiative to try and contain the issue.
Do you know something? The NDC cannot boast of probably managing or fighting Galamsey far better than the NPP. But today, they themselves are letting us know. Please, are you considering the caliber of the person speaking? We are talking about Yamin, the national organizer of the NDC, and he himself is even under investigation for the same crime. So when this person comes out to say that the extortion is too much, he says, we will be deceiving Ghanaians. Listen to, he said, we will end up deceiving Ghanaians that we are fighting Galamsey. Instead, they will be what? Filling their pockets with cash.
But isn't this the kind of...
the NDC is not fighting Galamsey, and you bear witness.
Yeah, I'm coming. Isn't this the kind of attitude that even the former President Akufo-Addo called on Ghanaians to have? To be citizens, not spectators. And if you see something going wrong, you raise the alarm.
Sure.
This is a national organizer of the NDC who has seen something. According to him, he's seen something which is wrong, that the task force is engaged in activities that he finds to be worrying.
He feels intimidated.
And even though he has access to the president, has access to the Interior Minister, etc., he decided to make it public. Do you think that maybe Honorable Yamin should be called by state agencies to help in, unraveling individuals who are extorting money?
He himself feels intimidated by the government and the supposed task forces.
He's speaking up.
No, he feels intimidated. That's why he's coming out. There is something behind that. He wouldn't say that in public. But you know one thing that is actually worrying. He couldn't even talk about how to manage the Galamsey in that area. Look at the kind of destruction. You can't even watch the videos. What I'm saying is that the situation right now looks more deteriorating than it used to be. I'm telling you this. And looking at some of the sites that you've been visiting with your cameras, you will bear witness to that. Hey, let me tell you something. The moment that the NPP conceded defeat, let's presume that, or let's even assume that the NPP were the people doing the Galamsey, as they were actually circulating out there. The moment the NPP conceded defeat, the NDC and its entourage rushed to those sides, and the problem that the lands minister is having right now, he cried on said, the problem he is having right now is that it's the key NDC people who help the party win power. They are the people who are in charge of the Galamsey now.
But you cannot substantiate.
So how can you fight them?
You cannot.
Why was he crying?
But you cannot substantiate.
Why was he crying?
Because he was sad.
When an NDC minister is fighting an opposition, that one he does that with all might.
But you cannot substantiate the point that NDC.
We had several. Listen.
Do you have any NDC official?
What I'm saying is that the NDC. Stated categorically severally. You have many tapes that the NPP are even doing Galamsey in the Flagstaff House. Then, did you question, did you give them the opportunity to provide or to substantiate their argument?
They couldn't substantiate it. It's the same thing.
What I am saying, now. So they did that, and today you are also asking me to substantiate it. Because they even said that, and I will quote my brother Sami Jamfi saying that if you go to the bedroom, the living room of Nana Akufo-Addo in his hometown, they are even doing Galamsey there, and we allow this to go.
But the point is that
we allow this to go?
You had 8 years. If you had done a better job,
we did better than what the NDC is doing.
But we are still here.
We did better. That's what I'm saying, that we did better. You see, let's look at this thing clearly. This kind of the Galamsey Kanka is not a small thing. Let's admit that. Both the NPP and NDC must admit that fighting Galamsey isn't just like probably saying you are putting up a building or a structure, you are doing an interchange or something, so you start from here. The more that you are progressing, you have your own people from your backyard who will be the actual problem.
That's the problem the MPP has?
No, that is the problem both sides are.
So that's why MPP had difficulty fighting the Galamsey.
We encountered saying, you didn't say that when you go to the Galamsey, when you are to actually take the number of the people who are doing the Galamsey during the MPP time, you wouldn't say that you didn't have even about 10% of those people being an MPP. I will not sit here and be a hypocrite. No. What I'm saying is that is the NDC knew that. The NDC knew that. But they did a whole lot. Hit the street, demonstrate, bring in samples of water from various rivers, doing all these things live, buying airtimes, and let the Ghanaian people understand. Bringing people out there to demonstrate, insulting the president here and there. We witnessed all these things under when the NDC were in power. So today, my problem is that this statement is an official statement from the NDC.
No, but we cannot.
Please, this is coming from. This is coming from the national organizer.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it official statement by the NDC.
I'm saying that this is the official statement from the NDC that they have conceded defeat, that they couldn't fight the Galamsey. And secondly, the point that he said that I am so much concerned is that he said that the NDC must now get back to the drawing board and look out for the possible ways they can follow to actually control this thing. So it means that the NDC had no laid down plan on the table.
But let me ask you this question, that the Galamsey activity that allegedly is still ongoing in Akwatia, the accusations by some section of the public and even some members of the NDC is that you, the MPP, were soft on the fight against illegal mining in that particular constituency. And it explains why the spate of illegal mining in that constituency is persistent. And today, you are on a high horse calling on the government to go in there and clamp down on illegal mining, because they know that if the government goes ahead to do that, they might suffer some political, loss.
So are we for real or we are for politics?
But they say you were soft on them.
We were soft on them, and what are they doing? Let's accept.
So they say they are playing. They are taking a cue from your playbook.
Let's accept.
They say they are taking a cue from your playbook.
Let's accept this.
So why are you sounding?
Let's accept this. The moment a political party is voted against, it means you did not perform to their satisfaction. Let's accept this. So let's assume the NPP did not perform to the acceptance of the people in Akwatia. And so they voted against us. Though our candidate won 17,000, though they all had 17,000, but we had 17,900 and something. They had 17,000 something. So I would say our candidate won, same as the parliamentary candidate too. But what I am saying is that if indeed MPP were soft on them, what has the NDC done at the place? And then now it is. You
mean they have no excuse?
They have no excuse, and now look at the. You see, I'm not even going to the extortion thing because with the extortion, I will tell you that jobs for the boys, jobs for the boys, job for the so the boys go and take something and be okay. That's what they are saying themselves.
You've been noting down some point. You can come in now.
Yeah, you know, it's very sad, and very, very sad for us as Ghanaians. Very sad for us as people who are likely to be in government. I'm talking about the political parties. I sit down and listen attentively to my brother from the MPP. And what I deduce is that they see the fight against this illegal mining as political. They think that the NDC engaged in the advocacy to safeguard things that threaten our very existence. The pollution of our water bodies, the destruction of our forests. And it wasn't only about NDC, even the media. And I remember, even this fight against illegal mining and destruction of water bodies started from the media. One of your journalists here, Erasmus Asaidonko, has been very, very important and played very key roles in this fight against Galamsey. Before even the political parties came to join, organized labor are not politicians. Ghana Medical Association, they are not politicians. And they were complaining about these things. But for my brother to think that this whole issue about Galamsey is political, it's about winning votes, it's sad for us as politicians. We are young men. You get it. We are going to have children.
But that's not the campaign trail.
That is why I'm saying that. See, the national organizer did not just profess that we need to go back to the drawing board. So the NDC did not have any plan. Sure. I mentioned here clearly. I was very quiet. I was just jotting my points down. I mentioned here. I was just jotting points down. So no reaction. I listened to a lot of things he said. I just jotted my points down.
So
I just jotted your points down. The national organizer said that we need to come to the drawing board and then all that. I told you clearly, in the 2024 manifesto of the NDC, we said that, I told you that one of the ways that we can be able to correct some of these things is to decentralize where the issuance of the licensing for the mining is going to be done. And I also told you some of the problems that we face in there. Somebody can have license to mine in a particular area, then goes to mine in a different area. But then if the people issuing the licenses are within the district, they'll be able to tell you that this is where we give you the license to mine, and then that is where you're supposed to go. They'll be able to monitor and make sure that you reclaim the land after you're done with the mining. When you talk about the National Communications Officer, today the CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jefi, saying that mining was done even at the backyard of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. This wasn't a statement from Sami Jefi. This was a statement captured in Professor Frimpong Manso's report, that there were mining activities even going on at the backyard of the certain president at the time.
But we remember at the time, just to be fair, we remember at the time, Joy News went there, my colleague Elton Broby went there, and there was no mining. Yes, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it right now. I'm just correcting him that this was not a statement that emanated from Sami Jefi. This was a statement that was captured in Professor Frimpong Manso's report. And everybody, not even the NDC people were discussing around that time, all spoke about these things. So we didn't start it. It was captured in the report. Also, the issue about the gold board that issues licensing to people to buy golds, and whether the gold they're buying can be traced to illegal mining sites and all that. I've listened clearly to the Gold Board CEO, Sami Jefi, and he stated clearly that as of now, you are not able to trace where the source of golds that they are buying is coming from. And in the roll-up to the full execution of the Gold Board, they are going to get to a point where they are going to issue stamps to the gold that they are going to buy, so that you can trace them that this is coming from this particular mining company. Any gold that you're going to buy, you need to make a mark on it that shows that it's coming from this company. And any gold that does not have a mark, okay, is going to be rejected. They are not going to buy them because it's going to be purported that it's coming from the illegal mining. These are some of the solutions that we are professing out there. Now the NDC
cannot be equated to the NPP against illegal mining.
Sure.
Erasmus Asai-Donko, who was critical in the fight against Galamsey in the advocacy rules, has clearly come to state that we've gained and achieved some results. 8 months, my brother, 8 months in power. We've achieved, the water bodies are being cleared up. The water bodies are becoming correct. NDC did not carry, NDC alone did not carry water bodies, the samples of water, it happened here. It happened here. Journalists carried them. And then they brought it. Before politicians did that.
But the same
organized labor, they carried them. Absolutely, the water bodies are being cleared. Forest reserves are being reclaimed.
But the same policies that are
champagnes are being seized.
The same
illegal miners are being displayed.
The same policies that are generating all these results. You have your national organizer raising questions about those operations.
The implementation of every policy is not going to come fully like that. The task force, okay? The task force that's supposed to fight illegal mining, they have struck lots of successes. This is a concern the national organizer.
Why don't you highlight those successes?
Yes, so
why don't you
I'm telling you
instead of accusing them of extortion,
the task force
accusing them of taking
the task force people have displaced lots of illegal minings. The task force people partnered even with the Blue Water Guards, and then they were able to seize champagnes, people washing gold inside the water bodies that are polluting our water bodies.
Yeah.
The anti-Galamsey task force have been able to go into the forest reserves and reclaim lots of excavators and stop people from mining the forest reserves. Reclaim about 9 forests over there. They've been able to arrest a lot of illegal miners. Some of them are being processed in court today. Attorney General in his report to the nation told us that
they're doing a wonderful work. So why go on a campaign trail and indict them?
I told you carefully that the media people, all of you, you are doing a wonderful work. There are 1 or 2 bad notes amongst them. So when he says that, what I think is that the NDC should fast track our decentralization of the issuance of the licensing so that we'll be able to monitor some of these things. That wherever you're giving a license to go and mine, that is exactly where you are mining, or whether you've gone to a different place, how you're able to reclaim the lands and then all that. We want to engage and teach the youth in responsible mining. The incident that was launched, that actually led to the unfortunate death of the 8 heroes that we had that crashed in the helicopter. They were going to launch cooperative mining. And the cooperative mining that they were going to launch, you group the youth in the community come together, you engage in responsible mining. We show you how to reclaim the land, we show you how to replant the trees there. Then everybody's safe.
In fact, just in today's papers,
lots of success.
In today's papers, you have ITP's anti-Galamsey task force seizes more excavators. And in areas, we understand that in a village called Ata near Jinase, they've gone there to do special work. And I am reliably informed that these task force, the very specific areas they go to, they go there based on the direction of the Interior Minister and the lands, lands ministry. They tell them this area, there is no license for anybody to mine there, so go there and reclaim the land. That's what they are doing. But then you have your national organizer saying that, well, they are arresting legal miners.
The national organizer made those statements. He did not back it with evidence. I'm backing with evidence the achievements of the national...
we all agree that the task force has done a brilliant job.
But he's not backing with any evidence.
That's the point.
He just came out and then he spoke, and I'm saying that
and you wouldn't encourage such comments, would you?
I told you from the beginning that I don't encourage such comments from the beginning. And then also he has access to the IGP. The IGP is a man of integrity. If you look at the Interior Minister, so far he's done so wonderfully in the execution of his duties. You look at the President himself, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and then you are telling you that, see, any NDC person, any NDC appointee who is engaged in illegal mining, the law is going to deal. Is going to deal. So far, 8 months in power, no scandals, no NDC appointees engaged in Galamsey. As now, even the 2 that have been mentioned, there's nothing to substantiate.
Just briefly, because I want us to progress the conversation.
So the point I'm making is that you were making reference to these task forces seizing excavators here and there. You were just reading from one of the newspapers. But the question is, we witnessed Hannah telling us in camera that even those excavators, most of them were stolen. They were taken from the places that they could not trace their whereabouts. So just seizing excavators, and at the end of the day, within 24 hours, they will be nowhere to be found. Are you chalking success?
That is factually incorrect.
No, but
she spoke in camera.
Anibisu did make that.
Yes, she did that. So that is what I am saying.
She made the point that. But Anibisu,
see right now, you are interjecting. You don't want me to talk.
No, fair enough. No, but not within the timeline you stated it.
What I am saying is that.
No, that's factually incorrect.
Listen to me. What I'm saying is that you are reporting. You are reading from the newspaper today. But I'm telling you, this is something that has been reoccurring. It happened previously that they seized around 44. And many of them were nowhere to be found.
So you think the seizure is...
So the seizure is not, that is the point I want to make.
Great.
So you can't sit here and jubilate that the fact that you are seizing excavators and all those things tells that you are doing something. NDC has failed. And I am happy as an MPP person today, and now wherever you are, respectfully, that Your Excellency, you should at least be happy for once that the NDC are conceding that they have lost the Galamsey fight. And secondly, they did not have any laid down plan to follow to fight Galamsey. And that is deceitful. You did a disservice to the country then. You didn't do well. And you should apologize to the people of Ghana.
The election is going to happen sometime next week. And I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about as far as Akwatia by-elections and all the issues that are coming out of it, all right? All we want is a peaceful by-election. And we want the message to be clear. No message indicting the efforts of the police to fight against Galamsey, or no message intended to...
We shall protect ourselves. That one, we shall reiterate that. We shall protect ourselves. We'll get more into it as the election gets close. But one of the issues that has also cropped up is with the MPP, your party, because your party appears to be on the brink of an unsolvable division. Because if you look at the comment that are coming from some of the aspirants, first it was comment about religion and how that affected the party's fortune in the 2024 election. Now it's a comment about, the tribe of Dr. Bawumia and the fact that that also contributed to the party's loss in 2024. And if he's retained, it might affect the party's fortune. That was a comment that was made by Dr. Brian Champon. He has gone on to release a statement that he made those comments in context and did not intend to impugn on the character of Dr. Bawumia. If we can hear Dr. Brian Champon briefly, Dr. Bawumia is all the way in the USA. He heard it and he had to quickly respond to it. If Dr. Brian Champon's statement is ready, we can hear from him. And then, okay, let's listen to Brian Champon now.
President Akufo-Addo, Owini MPP voter wo Kusasi. Owini MPP voter wo Mapusi. President Akufo, Owini MPP voter wo Kusasi. Owini MPP voter wo Mapusi. And this answer so quality rank of me no. Ah, ya Akufo baako e di apa. In 2024, Akufo na e ko. E free OTP. Ediko upper east, upper west, and northern. Upper western region. The Lucy is a woman. It's only power. And if you are a victim of circumstances, it's not your fault. How do you know anything? But we cannot wait. This situation, we now have one price on him, which we have solved in 2028. But the suspicion will not go away. And MPP will not be held ransom and stay in opposition because of this matter.
As we prepare to go into the primaries, I am very, very concerned and troubled that some of our presidential aspirants have embarked on a religious and tribal bigotry and propaganda against me in a desperate attempt to win votes. They totally ignore all the data and findings about why we lost the 2024 elections and want to mislead the delegates and the party with such propaganda. One such issue that has come up, and I think it's important for all of us to know, is the Mapusi-Kusasi conflict. An aspirant has said that delegates should not vote for me because I am a Mapusi man, and that we will lose votes in the Kusasi areas and other areas. This is very unfortunate and demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the situation on the ground.
So that's Dr. Bawumia there slamming Dr. Brian Champon on his comment about his tribal affiliation. So that's one of the issues we will be dealing with as far as the latter part of the conversation is concerned. But then also on Friday, the Okada delivery guys had some relief following the intervention by the Sector Minister, Honorable Son George. If you can have the statement by Honorable Son George on the screen. So on Friday, I think Thursday, the entirety of last week, the police were engaged in some operations arresting courier drivers who were, unlicensed, and it generated some concern on the streets. Then Honorable Son George, intercepting that very development, wrote this on his Twitter page that he has directed this afternoon, that was on Friday, an immediate halt to the ongoing enforcement action by the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission. The action, in conjunction with the Ghana Police, is a necessary activity to bring some sanity and order to the use of motorbikes for delivery purposes as stipulated by law. He said, however, I believe the Commission needs to do more stakeholder engagement and public sensitization before the enforcement activities commence. We must enforce the law with a human face to it. I will, in the coming days, have meetings with various stakeholders and fashion out an agreeable roadmap to implementation. So that's the intervention by the sector minister. But this intervention has also raised questions. Should ministers have the power to suspend enforcement of the law as and when they please? Should that be how the republic should be governed? And I think that is a legitimate question, all right? Can the Attorney General decide that today, okay, let's not enforce the law on stealing because we want to enforce the law with a human face? Is this something should be encouraged, all right? Or we should allow the agencies to do the work, as Barack Obama said? It's the agencies, it's the institutions that must be allowed to work, and the republic will function greatly. Well, Richard, I'm sure you're going to start with the flag bearer, but these are the two issues, because we have limited time, you guys drag the Akwatia election. So you just choose which one you want to talk about and we'll wrap it up. So which one do you want to touch?
Definitely I will be talking about an NPP issue. NPP is safe and sound. What I want to actually state emphatically is that all these internal wranglings are expected, and from both sides, choosing a leader. You see, what we are going through right now, our brothers will go through the worst in coming days. I can assure you that. You see, so it's something that's
difficult, eh? It's
extremely difficult. But one thing is this. Are we actually speaking to fact or perception? Let's look at that.
But I don't want us to get too much into it because
no, we have to get too much into that.
But I want us to be progressive about our conversation about it. Clearly, tribal politics, religious politics is not something we should encourage in this country.
No one encourages that.
Great. So, as a member of your party, how best do you think these candidates should progress? Because this clearly is dividing your party.
We are all preaching peace. We are all preaching unity. We are preaching oneness going forward. But this is internal elections. That's why I'm saying that when we go out there, candidate A has to actually campaign on a message. You want to lead NPP for the next elections. And let me mean business here. NPP wants power 2028. And all the signs are clear that if NPP are straightforward with choosing our candidate, we win the next election. If you're an NPP person, as for this one, that's why I'm saying that should it be that anyone who speaks against retaining a specific candidate becomes an enemy to the NPP? We can't do that. We can't be on that line. So the moment, as I sit here, maybe some years ago, I worked for a certain candidate, after considering researches, after going down to the streets, and then all those things, then probably I decide that today I will choose a different candidate. Should that make Amstrong probably an NDC, or should I make Amstrong coming from where we are one? So that's why with democracy, even the national thing, when you win, you must win 50 plus 1 vote. Why is it not 90%? Why is it not 100%? So it means that there's no way that you could have all the people following one candidate. So if I'm going to campaign for my candidate, I'll be out there to campaign on the achievement of my candidate as an individual. Then probably what my candidate is proposing, his vision statement. So when I go on campaign, all those who watch me live shows and all those things on radio, when I go, I do campaign, I have my candidate.
Issue-based campaigning.
Issue-based campaigning. So I don't talk about this kind of tribal things. In as much as we are condemning this kind of tribal bigotry here and there, there are key issues within the same context that we must also tell our people. But we should be extra careful in how we are decoding that to them.
Because the point is that these very points you are raising in your campaign, 2028, don't cry foul. And I know you cry foul. When the NDC raise it, you cry foul. You say it, but yet you are encouraging it. You are engaged in it. And when we get to the national level, you cry foul and say, but clearly, if it is not good at the national level, it must not be good in your internal politics.
Listen, the NPP has demonstrated beyond what the NDC proposed. The NDC said, when you get to a time that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will not even be considered to lead our party because the so-called Akan. And I find it difficult why my colleague NDCs are struggling to understand an Akan-dominated party. You can't run away from that. The NPP has its identity.
But do you as a person condemn
No, I condemn that. But what I'm saying is that NPP has its identity. And if you check our track record, our elections results, it proves clearly that NPP is an Akan-dominated party. And I stress that again. But we are one. And then probably we are championing the same cause. The point I'm making is that with respect to the last year's elections results, we need to sit down and analyze some things. And the party has indeed done that.
All right, great.
You see, there's no way we can publish.
Land for me, 30 seconds.
There's no way we can actually publish as the NDC couldn't do the same when they lost shamefully in 2016. That's what I'll use. And we also lost the same way this time round. So they couldn't actually disclose whatever from their commission. What I'm saying is that the party internally knows the key reasons why we lost. Though we won't come out, we won't publish it. But there are some key ones we need to actually explain with science and data, but not actually attacking the candidate probably from that angle.
Richard,
so I would just condemn that, but though we need to look at some of the key things.
Well, Yima, I think we've got less than 3 minutes to wrap up.
That's enough.
Under 1 minute.
That's enough.
But you just have to address one issue.
Or
you do all under 1 minute. So
I'll do all under 1 minute. That's enough time for me. NDC did not lose shamefully in 2016. In the history of the Fourth Republic, the worst ever defeat is the one that was struck by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So this is not lose shamefully. And then also, what's Dr. Bawumia crying foul about? Dr. Bawumia in the round up to 2024 elections was playing the religious card. And today, in an internal MPP primaries, one of the candidates is using it against you, the religious and tribal card.
You condemned it.
Yeah, no.
You condemned it.
I'm saying that he, as a person, he engaged.
But you condemned
he engaged in that religious card. I'm saying that he engaged in it. So if today, among their political party, one of the candidates is using against him, what's he crying for about?
But you should be principled. I've
not landed. If for nothing at all, I won't be concerned what happens in the MPP. But because they are we need a very responsible opposition, I'm concerned about the things that happen in their party. So I condemn the religious politics they are playing.
I'm sure you want to touch on the
both Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and
all right, touch on the second part. Let's wrap up.
Yes. So on the courier services, I thank the Minister for Communications with his intervention, and for every policy that comes out, unlike law, that ignorance of the law is not an excuse that you're talking about. If you don't know about stealing, you say they should stop it. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. This is about collecting revenue from people of Ghana. So you should explain to them so that they understand. So I thank the minister.
But allow the laws to work. Why are you suspending the law?
The law is going to work. You're going to have engagement.
He just suspended the law.
You're going to have more stake. No, he just suspended the enforcement for
but that is the law.
A particular time. How
do you suspend the law? Unilaterally suspend the law.
I just have 1 minute. To allow for stakeholder engagement for the effective implementation on it.
No, but the question is, how do you suspend the law unilaterally?
In 30 seconds in London.
How do you suspend the law unilaterally? Why should you do that?
In 30 seconds in London, I want to tell...
Should it become a precedent where any minister can suspend the law?
Because... for 1 minute. In 30 seconds in London, I want to tell the people of Ghana... I want to tell the people of Ghana, I want to tell the MPP people that no matter the propaganda, no matter the communication gymnastics that they engage in the issue of fighting of Galamsey, okay, the reclaiming of the forest reserves, the state of the water bodies being improved, the disbanding of illegal mining communities in certain areas, seizing of chamfans, seizing of excavators, prosecution of illegal miners in court today.
Are you prosecuting anyone?
Vindicate the NDC.
Are
And
they
we see
protecting
the water bodies improving. We've seen forest reserves being reclaimed.
All right.
So
So you couldn't ask this
we
for
are
me.
NDC. We are
Is
focused.
the NDC prosecuting someone in
we are
court
focused
on Galamsey related
delivering on our
matters?
mandate. Today the dollar. We see the state of the dollar.
All right.
We've seen inflation.
You are still talking about the dollar.
Thank you very much. Richard, thank you very much for
He's
coming.
talking about the dollar.
Thank you very much.
You are
Richard,
talking
for
about the
coming.
dollar.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for coming.
Anyway,
very much.
that's
Really
good.
appreciate
That's
you guys
good.
for being
That's
on the show
good.
today, and also to you for watching. Thank you for being part of it.